The Bears keep on adding to the offense for Caleb Williams. They have drafted offensive tackle Kiran Amegadjie out of Yale with the 75 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears draft reaction video, and the Chicago Bears are going all in on Caleb Williams' development, okay? They drafted Rome Odunze in the first round. They got a fantastic high upside backup tackle slash guard in Kiran Amegadjie that, in case of injury, there's going to be somebody ready to go, okay? It's not going to be a situation that other Bears quarterbacks have had to deal with. So I'm so happy that they're doing things the right way this time. I know that some people may have wanted edge at pick number 75. I think, edge would have been pretty good too, but I will never complain about adding to the offensive line with the terrible offensive lines I've had to witness in my life being a Bears fan. So I am happy that the guys that know offensive line a lot more than I do, wanted to select one this high and want to take a chance on this guy who is going to need some development 100%, but they believe in their coaches enough to the point where they think they can get the most out of this kid because his raw athletic abilities and the size and the arm length he has, like those things cannot be taught. But if you can get him to be, a more refined football player, get him to, play in the system, he could be a very good tackle at the next level. Now, he grew up being a big Bears fan, okay? He actually went to Hinsdale Central for high school. He's been a pretty diehard Bears fan for a long time, too. He has a bunch of tweets up on his Twitter account where he's complaining about the Chicago Bears offensive line. So he knows our struggle. He knows what we have been through as Bears fans. So that makes it a little bit more sweeter that we're getting, a big Bears fan to come and join the Chicago Bears, which Ryan Poles has added, multiple local products now in the last couple of years as GM of the Bears, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm a fan of the pick. Again, maybe edge would have been fine too, but you can still go edge in round 4, or maybe just call up Yannick Ngakoue again, and hope he has a better year next year than he did last year. But like, I'm not going to complain about adding to the offense with the Chicago Bears and how they have mostly overinvested on defense. It's not a bad thing to maybe try doing the opposite thing, invest a lot around your young quarterback and hopefully not screw him up like you've screwed up some other highly drafted quarterbacks. But let's talk more about what Kiran Amegadjie is going to be bringing to the Chicago Bears. So Kiran Amegadjie, I believe, did not do any athletic testing because he suffered an injury last year, a quad injury, so he was not able to do the testing. He should be fully healthy, I believe, for the start of next season. But if you look at his height and weight, okay, 6'5", 323 pounds. If you look at his length, 36 inches. Those are very long arms. I know that this regime does value arm length in their offensive tackles. Braxton Jones also is another long-armed, offensive tackle. And Kiran Amegadjie in some ways is very similar to Braxton Jones from a measurable standpoint, and maybe even in terms of like coming from a smaller college. And being maybe a developmental guy that in Braxton's case, he started right away, but Kieran will get the chance to probably sit behind one of these guys, which I think is ideal. Now, he's played both left tackle and left guard, so he does have some guard and tackle versatility, which I do really like, okay, because, we don't even know if Teven Jenkins is going to be here beyond next year. I hope he is, but he's going to be a free agent after next year, and with how much guards are getting paid right now with Teven's injury history, there unfortunately is a world in which Teven Jenkins is not going to be a Bear after next year. Again, I hope he is, but if he's not, like, you need a backup plan. Maybe Kieran could be that. But at the tackle spot, I feel like he's even more important as depth because right now behind Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright, like, we have Larry Borum, we have some other, guys on cheap deals, but I think Larry Borum is going to be cut after a move like this, right? Because I don't think the Bears regime likes him that much. He was a Ryan Pace pick, and most of the Pace picks are no longer on the roster. So Ryan Poles got his own backup swing tackle. And maybe when Braxton Jones' contract is over, if you don't want to re-sign Braxton Jones, maybe Kiran Amegadjie would be ready to take over at that point if he did hit his ceiling. But yeah, if you look at him on the football field, what really stands out is how elite of an athlete he is. He can move very, very well, a very good first step, explosiveness. Foot speed is really good, and he really does maul people. Like, when he wins his matchups, he wins them in an overwhelming way. Obviously, at Yale, he went up against lesser competition. At the NFL level, there will be better football players, but with how tough of an athlete he is, how big he is, how long he is, but if he can refine his technique and just get better, like, he could be a very good NFL offensive tackle with the God-given abilities he has, as an athlete and in terms of like height and length. Now, if you look at some of his stats, so obviously for offensive linemen, the film tells a much better story than the stats, but an interesting stat I found was that the pressure percentage allowed on non-RPO and non-play action protection snaps, according to Brett Coleman here, Amegadjie ranked pretty highly in the country, okay, 2.9%. And obviously, going up against, some of the lesser competition, but still, like, he was very, very good at the level that he played at, and hopefully it will translate to the next level. He will have to do some developing. Obviously, his technique is not perfect in pass pro sometimes. Like, there are some flaws that could be exposed at the next level, but I think he could work as a run blocker right away. Like, if you had to, start right now, run blocking could be a pretty big strength for him, and he just has to keep on working on that pass pro. But pretty solid pick overall. I know some fans maybe would have wanted some interior offensive line help, like maybe a center to develop, maybe a guard, but this guy maybe could play guard, and we did already add, Ryan Bates and Coleman Shelton in the offseason. But unfortunately, no center drafted yet, unless we draft one tomorrow, which probably won't at this point. But let me know what you guys think about this pick in the comments down below. Again, I'm not sure you can complain about this pick, because even though it's not a sexy pick, are you really going to complain about giving Caleb Williams more protection up front? Like, if an injury happens, it's much better having guys like this to step up instead of, 7th round random UDFAs, right, that you've never heard of, like some of other quarterbacks have had. The Bears, for the first time ever, are building that stable situation for their young quarterback, which I am so happy they are. Okay, thank God, Ryan Poles, you're doing that. Now, maybe our defense, is a little bit thin right now on defensive line depth. That's definitely true. If an injury happens to Montez Sweat, Javon Dexter, we're kind of screwed, but it is what it is, okay? You can't fill in every single position, in 1 year, and we could address the defense next year, right? I'm not going to complain about, giving Caleb a better chance of succeeding in Chicago and being the Bears' first true, franchise quarterback. So, welcome to Chicago, Kiran Amegadjie. I'll be back with another video tomorrow for the Bears round 4 pick. We only have one pick right now on day 3, which is kind of funny because I'm so used to making so many videos for the NFL draft under Ryan Poles. We've had like 10, 11 picks the past couple years. We only have 4 this year, but it's okay, I'm happy with Caleb, Rome Odunze, this guy, whoever we select tomorrow. Hopefully it's going to be a good player, but I'll be happy with the draft regardless. Leave your comments down below. As always, bear down.